This video was made to clear Willer Gray's name. The letter asking about his safety has already been sent to South Korea, so we can only hope to hear back from him. A lot of people are still saying that he depicted SA. These commenters argued for their perception of the word SA compared to how I talked about it after a person has gone missing, because they don't like the fact that I discussed legal SA instead of moral SA. But that video wasn't a second commentary video on Chalupa, it was a response to his response. Did they forget that Chalupa was the one who brought up legal consent, which means he said it was SA because he thought it was SA by law, not because he thought it was SA by moral standards?
He cannot legally give consent.
So why would I bring up morality after he brought up legality? Chalupa implied legal SA, so I proved him wrong to prove that he committed slander, so that he would stop framing Willer, so that other people will stop parroting Chalupa's lies, so that Willer wouldn't feel actively suicidal. I kept reiterating my point because Chalupa and his fans have proven themselves to lose memory of everything I say if I only say it once, but apparently that was an issue as well. What even is moral SA? Because if you're talking about the situation in which one person is significantly more drunk than the other, that is still SA by law. Although the legal barrier to consent is incapacitation in most states, including the one Chalupa is in, some states take different intoxication levels into account. This can't be what the commenters are referring to though, because there's no way to know if one character drank more than the other and that one character was more drunk than the other. You can point out the blush difference in this panel, but what about the next panel? Jeffrey's a lot more flushed in this one than the previous panel. Some might say it's because the alcohol just kicked in, and some might say it's because he likes Billy. But if you say the latter, then Billy could also be this flushed because he likes Jeffrey, not because he's more drunk. Do you see how pointless these arguments are when we don't actually know how drunk these characters are? Seems like a lot of people don't realize the fact that Jeff Woods the Killer is a comic. These aren't real people, these are characters. The scene in question isn't recovered clips of footage from a damaged security camera, they're comic panels. But people are assuming that there's context outside of what is shown by the author that constitutes SA. In romance stories played out in all kinds of media, there's a flashback to just the sex scene, that's all they show you, just a few second clip. You don't know anything about that flashback other than the fact that these characters had sex. So are every one of those scenes SA because explicit consent wasn't shown? Don't you just assume it was consensual until further context tells you otherwise? Yes, Billy didn't remember what happened the next day, but consensual drunk sex has always been portrayed in media. Someone not remembering what happened the next day has always been portrayed in media. It's common in one-night stands, especially among strangers in hetero-romance media, and it's not considered SA because there would have been no way for one party to know just how drunk the other party was. So it usually ends with one or both parties regretting their decision. For example, the girl gets up before the guy and just leaves without saying anything, or the guy thinks the girl slept with him on purpose for money. This trope is so common that I never thought I'd have to explain it. You can say they're stupid for drinking that much in the first place, but people don't go as far as to call that kind of night sexual assault. This trope is not even considered dubious consent because that definition heavily implies that one person manipulated, coerced, or deceived the other into having sex with them. In Willer's comic, there's no way for us to know if either character knew how drunk his partner was, or if either was too drunk to consent in the first place, because the flashback is too short, so all we know is that they both drank alcohol and Billy started the interaction. Billy not remembering what happened the next day alone is not a valid reason to claim the existence of SA in a story as a fact. If anything, it can be interpreted as an extremely popular type of scene that many of you have probably seen before in TV shows and were completely fine with, but for some reason are calling it SA now. Is Chalupa morally wrong for saying it's SA? We're talking about the same guy, right? The one that blurred panels say for YouTube, didn't address it, called it a crime, and then implied legal SA. You're questioning whether or not he was moral for bringing up legal consent? By asking this question, you're implying that Willer depicted moral SA. Willer got harassed because people thought he drew SA. It doesn't matter if Chalupa's viewers thought it was moral or legal SA before spreading misinformation. There are actually two too many people stating that Willer did in fact depict SA by portraying a morally and legally acceptable trope, and that I am a defender of SA for defending him? These people pretend to care about Willer, but they don't even know his name. What is this mistake that you speak of? Proving that Chalupa lied again? When did I ever say that SA can't happen if two people are drunk? How entitled do you have to be to try to hold people accountable for things you made up? It's gotten past double standards and beyond stupidity into straight up delusion. Me pointing out the non-existence of SA in a comic and that it's illegal to ruin the reputation of the comic and creator by claiming the existence of SA apparently means that I wouldn't believe SA victims in real life. Was there a scene of one of the characters reporting the other for SA and the police didn't believe him, and I said I don't believe he got SA'd because it wasn't shown to me? Did Billy or Jeffrey ever come out of the comic into the real world to tell people he was assaulted and that I didn't believe him? If not seeing explicit consent in a story is going to remind you of your trauma, then don't read that story. Willer clearly included this disclaimer for people like him because he wanted the flashback to be super short but didn't want anyone to get the wrong idea. A lot of people still think that only one character was drunk because Chalupa implied that only one of them was drunk, even though he had no way of knowing that.
You have a responsibility to disengage with the drunk person.
His blackout drunk legal theory came after him being told that the reason Billy lost his memory was because of his fictional backstory, not because of his intoxication level. And again, someone losing memory by itself is not SA by default. Context matters. Someone even made a YouTube video spreading misinformation.
There was a guy who was drunk and coming onto someone else, and apparently in this woman's eyes that's okay because the drunk one initiated it with him. The other guy was sober, by the way. So she said that it wasn't SA because, you know, the drunk one initiated it.
This creator didn't even watch my video. You can tell because a commenter asked, "Did you see her reply to Chalupa's apology?" They said yeah. But when the commenter expressed their concern about the missing comic writer, the creator said, "I haven't heard about this missing comic creator. Is he okay?" How do you not hear about Willer after watching that video? They told the same lies Chalupa told in his response and then told a new lie in the comments. People were mad that I didn't say the word dubious consent, and others are out here saying I did, using that against me. It doesn't matter how you perceive the word compared to the way I talked about it. I never stated my morals because they don't matter, and neither do yours. This situation is not about us. I was telling Chalupa and his fans that the scene wasn't SA because it wasn't, so that a victim of SA, Willer, doesn't end up dead after being told 1,000 times that he depicted and glorified his own trauma. Someone suggested that it's SA, so it's already SA in their heads. Me saying there's no proof of it is doing nothing for them, because to them, missing context means it might be SA, which somehow means it is SA. So they need me to prove that the entire night was not SA, as if I have access to this supposed security footage, instead of proving that there's no evidence of it being SA. I can't think of any other reasoning behind saying something is SA when you don't really know if it is. I think this person worded it best: unproven SA. If it's not proven, you can't claim that it's SA. I mentioned Billy's fictional lore earlier. It's not that he was too impaired to forget, it's just that he always forgets the next day, even after one sip of alcohol. So it's not that he was too drunk to consent during the activity before he lost his memories. I didn't bring up this lore in the past because 1, it's still not SA even without this fictional lore, and 2, Chalupa knew about this lore before making his response, which is why he brought up legal consent. I guess he still thought it was SA by law. Billy forgets even with 1 drop of alcohol because he's the reincarnation of a priest who died centuries ago, and Catholic priests drink wine in clerical ceremonies. Willer explained Billy's lore to me on April 11th, and if you look at Chalupa's DMs from May 6th, you'll see that it was explained to him. In reality, these people are not upset at the contents of the flashback, they're upset at Willer's style of storytelling. They wish Willer showed a longer flashback, one that fully contextualizes the scene in question information that includes explicit consent. And instead of taking out their frustration on media made by companies who do the exact same thing because it's widely accepted, they just claim that an individual depicted or glorified SA and that I'm an SA apologist. People like these who assert their opinion as factual information is why Willer was gaslit and why he became actively suicidal. It's not moral SA or legal SA, it's just not SA. No one is asking you to like the comic, but do not spread misinformation about it just because you don't like it. This isn't about SA in real life or SA at all. To everyone else who actually cares for Willer and wants to help him, I'd appreciate it if you could help clear his name so that if he comes back, he doesn't have to come back to all these insensitive comments. He's extremely vulnerable, so they will gaslight him. Willer's friends and I are trying to help him in different ways, and my role in this team is to clear his name. There's a group of TikTok creators who spread and encouraged misinformation about the comic, and when one of us reached out to one of them, she said they made NSFW even when they are minors. I don't care about using AU, it's still weird. It seems like the problem for her, other than her belief that Jeff is a minor, is the fact that the comic is BL. Jeff's sexuality was never revealed in the original creepypasta, so Willer's comic being BL shouldn't be weird, but Jeff is her favorite character, which means that he is not gay. A lot of people just straight up lie, saying things like, "What irks me especially in the original video is you defending the poor author with, oh, it's only implied that Billy was a child." Like, what the fuck? You're not helping him by saying something like that. Whose video did these people watch? Because it definitely wasn't mine. I need to address people who pretend to care for Willer by telling me to stop doing what he wanted me to do. They think that I should not be defending Willer or talking about him at all, when misinformation is the reason he became more suicidal. He was really happy to finally clear his name until Chalupa doubled down on his beliefs, revitalizing the spread of misinformation, but these commenters act like they know what is best for Willer, more than Willer himself. They didn't even read his messages shown on screen, but they're making demands for him in the name of morality. In March, he told his brother, "If I ever disappear a long time, I died. And if I die, some people are going to try to paint me as things I am not. I won't like people to think I'm a pedophile. If someone ever implies any of that, please do not believe them and dig until the end of the world if necessary. No, it's false. Please dig. Please don't let them paint me as those things. I'm not those things. Please find the truth. I'm feeling very suicidal lately." I didn't show this next message in my last video because I was trying not to show a lot of messages like these to respect Willer's privacy as much as possible. The ones I showed in the first commentary video are ones he personally asked me to show. But in April he told his brother, "I'm going to love being a pedophile without liking kids. When people ask me, why do you do rape? I'm going to start screaming because I love it. I love all you say I love, even if I don't." Willer got used to these accusations after a while and tried to gaslight himself to be fine with them, but he couldn't interact with people normally like you and I. He couldn't follow creators he liked in case they would feel uncomfortable, and strangers had him blocked for no reason. When he discovered more misinformation about him, it affected him so much he had to rest for the day. He would have wanted his story told and his name cleared. A lot of people expect crazy, unrealistic problem-solving skills from me, while insulting me for not handling a problem correctly. They think that I, as a channel with 1,000 subscribers at the time Willer contacted me, should have privately messaged Chalupa somehow before including Willer's section in my first video on Chalupa and resolved Willer's situation. These people think that I, as an individual, had the power to take down a video on a channel with 250,000 subscribers just by asking the YouTuber to do so. They must live in a utopia by themselves, but unfortunately we don't know how to join. Do these people really have Willer's best interests in mind? Even if Chalupa deleted his video slandering Willer without me publicly defending him, what would that have fixed? Would the hundreds of thousands of people have magically stopped thinking badly of Willer and his comic and started supporting him? I think you all know the answer to that question. We thought Chalupa would delete the video on Willer's webtoon after public backlash, backlash. It happened, and Chalupa did delete the video. We thought me clearing Willer's name publicly will make everyone stop accusing him and his comic of everything they're not. I managed to clear the pedo part, for some people at least, but we didn't expect Chalupa to double down on the SA in a response video and for everyone else to agree. When Willer first contacted me, he thought he was in the wrong because thousands of people said so. And before he went missing, he told his sister, "I thought I was not bad, but maybe I am." People claimed that he depicted and glorified SA when what he depicted at worst was a widely accepted common trope in romance media. His only hope to clear his name failed once Chalupa uploaded his response, which led to Willer doubting himself, and it seems to be what pushed Willer off the edge. Chalupa deleted his response, and I hope this video fully clears Willer's name. All we can do now is wait for him to come back.